Morning, brethren. Welcome to our daily devotional this morning. We're going to think of the words from the Apostle Paul writing to the church in Ephesus in chapter 1 and verse 13. He says, "Of the believers, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit, who is a deposit guaranteeing our inheritance until the redemption of those who are God's possession, to the praise of his glory." Some of you yourselves, or perhaps some of your children, have had the privilege of going to university. And if you completed your university course, at the end of your studies, you would have received your degree. And in receiving your degree, you would have been issued with a certificate. And that certificate would have had on it the seal of the university to which you went. The seal on that certificate guarantees that it is an authentic certificate. It guarantees that it came from that particular university and that university acknowledges you as having been one of their students and acknowledges you as having achieved what is stated on the certificate. Paul says to the Christians, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit. What he means by that is that every Christian has been given a mark of authenticity, something that guarantees that they are truly saved. And that mark of authenticity, that thing that guarantees that you're a genuine believer, is the Holy Spirit dwelling within you. The presence of the Holy Spirit in an individual is something that guarantees that they are believers. And folks, as a Christian, you know, don't you, that the Holy Spirit is within you. If you have no sense of the Spirit dwelling within you, you have to ask yourself if you are a Christian. Paul goes on to say that the Holy Spirit is a deposit guaranteeing our inheritance. If I want to buy myself a brand new car, it's never going to happen, but it's only an illustration. But if I went down to the local car dealers and saw a beautiful car that I wanted and it cost maybe £35,000 and it was that one that I definitely wanted, I could give him a deposit, maybe 10% or 20% of the cost price, and that deposit would guarantee that that car would be kept for me. And at some stage later on, I would be able to come back and, having paid the rest of the amount, I would be able to pick that car up. The Apostle Paul says that the Holy Spirit is not only a seal that, as it were, authenticates our Christian faith. He is also a deposit. He has been given to us as a down payment on what one day we will fully receive. What's that? Our inheritance. That glorious inheritance that awaits us in heaven. And the inheritance, of course, is life eternal in the presence of God himself. The Spirit of God dwelling within us guarantees us life eternal. And his presence within us is a guarantee of our eternal presence with God in the future. What a wonderful verse this is. You were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit, who is a deposit guaranteeing our inheritance until the redemption of those who are God's possession. One day, God, who is the one who owns us, is going to possess us fully when he takes us to be with him in glory. Let's give thanks this morning for the Holy Spirit, our seal and our deposit, authenticating the genuineness of our faith and guaranteeing us that wonderful inheritance of a redemption that lies ahead. May God bless you today.